There is no perfect, because sometimes when I have a client who has a perfectionist issue, and because sometimes people, if they're perfectionists, they often then procrastinate because they can't do it perfectly, so they don't even want to start trying.
You're listening to Entrepreneur Journeys, where I share insights and strategies based on owning and managing businesses while traveling and living on 3 continents. I also interview business owners about their journey, what they learned along the way, and how that can help you with your business growth. For more resources to accelerate your entrepreneur journey, head over to 𝐂𝐥𝐻ologist.com, where I share resources, events, community, and more. I'm your host, Joe Matz. Let's get started.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us today. And I have with us Claudia Rickard. She is a certified consulting hypnotist, and she has a lot of diplomas and certificates, and she's just a very smart woman with a lot of knowledge. And Claudia, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you here. I'm glad we figured out our schedules to get together.
Absolutely.
And where do you hail from today?
So, well, I'm actually living in North Carolina. You can hear that I'm English, but I moved here about 4 years ago. And I'm loving it.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, we love the United States. So what brought you to the U.S.?
Well, I used to live in America when I was a little girl. I did my 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade in Virginia Beach. My dad was in the Air Force and he worked for NATO. And I just loved America. All right. I just played. I could have got a degree in playing, in fact, a master's, and it's my happy place. And I always said I would come back to America and live here. So yes, I'm here for an adventure. I'm here to live my best life, and I'm loving it.
So let's talk about your journey, because that is a journey across the pond. And were you doing the same thing or something similar before you came to the U.S.?
Yes. So I did all my training. Well, some of it. I mean, saying that, I've done so much more training here as well, learned so much more. But I did do my training in England. So I started my hypnosis training in 2011. And I just absolutely fell in love with it. Can't get enough of it. Read so many books, and that I've just, And I was very lucky, Joe. I was already an aromatherapist. So I always had that kind of basis, and I had clients straight away to practice on.
Okay. Well, and was there any indication when you were younger that this was the path that you were going to travel down?
Do you know what? You're right, actually. Funnily enough, yes, I get a lot of because I'm still in touch with a lot of my old school friends who have known me since I was 10 years old. And so many of them said you were just doing what you were always meant to do. You were always the one that people went to when they were upset. You gave guidance. You were the one who had to tell, because I was at boarding school. I went to boarding school when I was 9, when we went back to England from America. I was the one that would tell anybody if they smelt. I was the one, because I could say it in a nice way. So yeah, I looked after people when they were sick or crying or whatever. Don't get me wrong, I was also a little bit mean here and there because girls are. But
were you mean, or were you just correct and just firm and honest in what you said?
No, I was. If one of my friends is watching this, she would probably say no. I was probably quite mean at times. I remember putting toothpaste in her slippers and doing.
That's not very nice.
No, and doing apple pie beds and putting soap on people's toothbrushes and things, because that's what we did.
That's what you do in the boarding schools. I've heard stories of like that. Well, that's pretty funny.
I mean, nothing so awful, but I had similar done to me. We took it in rounds, and it's like you build resilience. That is actually how you build resilience.
So all the fighting I did with my brothers and sisters when I was young, that built resistance also?
Yeah, resilience. It's a good thing. we've got to get our hard skin, because life is hard,
Yeah.
and if you're going to, cry and flake at everything, you've got to learn it somewhere. And it's like, you have to learn that that's okay. I preferred it if it hadn't happened, but it did. And it's not the end of the world.
If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
Great. So then you came to America 4 years ago. Did you begin your practice right away?
So I did. However, I did have to wait because I had I had to get my license, my work permit. So it was, I had to wait, and I hated that waiting, because I think I get my energy from helping people, and having to wait for 6 months was horrendous. And I got my work permit, so I started business straight away, and and I started networking, because I didn't even know that was a thing, actually. However, I started networking, and you were one of the first people I met.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And then COVID happened.
Yes.
Yeah. But fortunately, I'd met enough people to start my business, and then it's all referral for me.
Yeah. So you started with the referrals, and you said networking was new to you.
I know. Isn't that crazy? So it was in England. I actually had been in business since I was 22, been an entrepreneur since I was 22. And I was always lucky. I always had, saw people for massage and other various things that I did. I didn't do networking in England. I didn't even know it was a thing until I came here to America.
Interesting.
I know.
Yeah. Well, when I met you, you seemed like a natural at doing networking. I guess that was in the very beginning.
It was, yes. And I guess I'm a people person. And with massage, when you think about it, I have to make people feel comfortable straight away. They're going to show me their body. I'm going to touch their body.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So
sure
meeting people otherwise is no big deal for me.
Right.
With their clothes on.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. So when you came here, and it's 4 years ago, what do you know now that you wish you knew back then?
Oh my goodness. What do I wish I'd known now from 4 years ago?
What do you wish you knew 4 years ago that you know now?
Okay. I wish I had just known more people. And I tell you what, I really wish I'd known to go to conferences, hypnosis conferences. I only went to my first one really last year. Again, I didn't really know it was a thing. Because when I go to the conferences, hypnosis conferences, those are my people. That's my tribe. Everybody does everything that I do. And the knowledge that is shared is immense. So I've just come back from one recently, and it's so powerful. So yeah, and it really inspires me. And it's just like, oh, this is just what I'm so meant to do.
There's so much energy when you get around people who are doing things that you're doing, who are doing things similar to what you're doing. And they're going to the conference because they want to grow and they want to learn, or they want to teach because there are teachers and there are learners at the conference, right? And I think it is just amazing. And the energy, it just raises everyone's energy when you're all there together and you're sharing experiences. I think that's so important. Yeah. One of the projects I've got going on, Claudia, is to create a group of entrepreneurs off of Facebook, off of LinkedIn, get where we can have our own kind of forum to collaborate together, to work together, to share experiences, to motivate people, and to ask questions. Because it is so important to get together with people who are positive, who are uplifting, who can answer a quick question here and there.
And make you think outside the box.
Yes.
Because that's what I do a lot of the time. Ask the right question. And people go, oh, or reframe something. And it's like, oh, yes, I hadn't thought of that. It is.
Yeah, I remember my coaching course I took in 2011. So about the same time you were taking your courses in the beginning. And one of the main focuses was asking the right questions and reframing, because sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's shining the light on a shadow that the person never knew was a shadow.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And I even bought a book, 100-page book that said it was basically questions to ask, because I don't have all the questions. I certainly don't have all the answers.
No, well, I know I'm a work in progress.
Yes, I think we all are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember telling my stepmom at one point I had done something wrong with the dishes. And I said, I guess I'm a long-term project.
That's a great answer, you know?
Oh, it's come back to bite me though.
Oh, okay. Oh dear.
When you meet with people, how do you put them at ease?
Oh gosh. Okay. I have a smile on my face. I shake their hand, and I know a lot of people do say this. I just I think I'm fortunate. I have a good aura, good energy, and people always say that I just make them feel so welcome. They come into I have an office in my house, so we walk through. I always ask, did you find me okay? And I used to, and this is really sad actually, I used to have my little black dog that would greet people as well, but she went over to the Rainbow Bridge in December, but everybody, again, because most people are animal lovers. I mean, I did always used to ask actually if they like dogs, because if they didn't, then I would have it elsewhere. However, it would be like they would, pet the dog and love on her, and then we'd talk about dogs and have you got any, and and so that was always helpful. I don't have that anymore. So it's just me. And we've got 2 cats, but they sort of like,
Yeah,
they're not
they
always
do their
there.
own thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they're there. Funny enough, sometimes they're there, and that helps as well. So because they might be at the door waiting to come in. So it's whatever it is. So yeah, they just get me now. But I still obviously manage to do it.
Right. Well, the dogs will help. I'm a dog lover. My wife is a dog lover. We've got 2 dogs at home, and I couldn't imagine coming home without them.
Yeah, I know. It's really, really hard, because it's the unconditional love, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that is what is so important. And that's what I'm all about, trying to get people to understand, especially with children. Unconditional love, it's so important to relay that to your child.
Yes. No matter what's going on.
Yeah.
So true. Well, I'm just wondering, you meet with so many people from so many different backgrounds and with so many, can I say, experiences or situations, issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's vast.
It's
crazy.
vast. Yeah.
There's so many. Yeah.
Do you have a set process that you bring people through that you've learned to do over the years?
Yes. So I, in my first session, I mean, I always listen to them a little bit, and actually my first session is never my first session. My first session is generally sort of either my second or my third, because I've already seen them. I've already spoken to them through email. We've started building the rapport. Yes, I can help you. Then we have, and I always then like to chat to my client first by telephone or Zoom. And we have an initial conversation that way. That is the second session, if you like, building rapport. So by the time I see them, so you asked again, how do I welcome my clients? But they're almost their third session.
So they're already familiar with you. There's already a relationship, and obviously they like you, or they would not have come.
That's right.
And they already believe that you have the experience and the knowledge that you can help them.
That's right. So we've already built that rapport. Rapport in my industry is paramount. You have to have it.
Do you get training on how to build rapport?
There is training. Fortunately for me, again, it comes naturally. I had to have rapport if I'm massaging somebody's body.
Yeah.
So, and of course, at boarding school, I think from then, I've always been a people person. So I've just, I was always, I was actually one of the kids that got on with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the popular kids, but I was also spent a lot of time with the people that were loners. So I was an everybody person. So it for me, I'm very lucky. It must be something within me that I'm, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah,
I really am.
it just is. Go ahead.
So yes, sorry, I was going to go back to for your first question because I jump all over the place. Is that to my foot? When do I have a process? I will then, after we've had that first initial chat, I then draw diagrams for my clients to explain to them what is going on inside their brain, and that really helps. They get the aha moments.
Okay.
And then I give them techniques and strategies. I like to do that in every session. Every client's different, obviously, and I will, tailor it. However, I do have a system, and it is about giving people all that emotional intelligence, first of all.
Yeah, sure. And what would you recommend to someone who is thinking of going into a field like where you are? What would you recommend to them if they're just making the first steps or just thinking about it even?
Practice. As soon as you learn something new, practice it, because that is the only thing that will give you the confidence. Practice. We can read it, we can do that, but you have to practice on people, your family, your friends. Practice.
Okay. Yeah. I also remember that in my coaching school. I had to do 120 hours of coaching during that course. And there was someone over my shoulder. Sometimes, not all the time, but I had someone, my mentor in the course was also a teacher in the course. And they were over my shoulder sometimes looking at what I was doing and helping me adjust a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Yeah. Yeah. So important. And practice, would you say practice makes perfect?
I don't like the word perfect.
I hesitated in saying that because I don't like it either.
It's so it makes confidence and builds your self-esteem. There is no perfect, because sometimes when I have a client who has a perfectionist issue, and because sometimes people, if they're perfectionists, they often then procrastinate because they can't do it perfectly, so they don't even want to start trying. Now, so sometimes in my session, I will, and invariably sometimes I make a mistake, and so, but sometimes I will do one on purpose, but they'll never know if I did it if I make a natural mistake, because I then pull it out of the bag and I say, did you notice that I made a mistake just then? Like I may forget something, I can't grab a word, or I may give them the wrong husband, they could give it a different name, something like that. And I said, did you notice I made a mistake? And they go, not really. And I go, well, did it matter? And they go, no. I say, you see, there is no perfect. It doesn't matter. Now, same for you. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Nobody really cares.
Nobody really cares. That's right.
Nobody cares.
Would you like to get in front of more of your ideal clients and at the same time build your brand and create evergreen content? Well, you can do that with podcast guesting. This very moment, you're listening to a podcast that may have been published today or 3 weeks ago or 3 years ago. In a very real sense, you're engaging with the speakers, hopefully enjoying yourself and learning something new at the same time. And you're getting to know the guest and how they help their clients, their customers, and the problems that they solve. You may even be their ideal client and want to learn more about them and download one of their free resources you can find in the show notes, or maybe even become a client of theirs. See, when you're a guest on a podcast, you will enjoy that same kind of engagement. It is perhaps the easiest, most cost-effective way to get in front of new audiences. Learn how you can be a guest on the right podcast and engage with your ideal clients with the free resources available at 𝐏𝐞𝐫ologist.com.
I had stopped going for perfect because I've been accused of being a perfectionist. And I realized I needed to work on that because so many things I was doing, I never brought them to the 100% ready for the public, because it was always 98%, but I had something else to make perfect. And then I had to adjust this and make it perfect. And then something else had, it. So I stopped trying to do that. I figured, you know what? I'm on a journey and I am going to be imperfect. I'm not striving for perfection anymore. I used to tell myself, I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for excellence. And the only way to do that is to keep going on the journey.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it. Make it imperfect. Do it imperfect, because that's how you get out there and that's how you make things better.
Absolutely.
I remember the story of sending a rocket to the moon. And this was before a lot of the technology we have now. And they pointed at the moon and sent the rocket up there. And then they adjusted the course along the way. If they hadn't adjusted the course along the way, we never would have hit the moon.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. It was very crude in today's terms. Now, they had all the formulas, filling up chalkboards with the formulas like you've seen in some movies, or if you watch The Big Bang Theory, they've got those formulas I can't understand. But it wasn't perfect. It was close. And they finally said, this is close enough. We're going to shoot this thing, get it out of the earth, heading towards the moon. And when we notice we're off course, we'll just adjust a little bit.
Wow. Yeah. And I think it's always okay to readjust and do that in life. Absolutely. It's something, there is something that I do with my clients. Sometimes I take them down a little path of this one first of all, then we go back and then we go down another path and see what that one's like, and then we go back to the beginning, and then they get to make a choice and they tell me which path they want to go down. But I get them to really have a flavor of what it's like if they continue with a certain behavior, say smoking or something, or something else that they do, and then come back and then being smoke free, see what that's like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not very nice when I take them down the horrible path, the path of still smoking, and I'm going, and he's trying to breathe, and it's like, and I even see, but I do tell them that before I'm going to do it. I don't, but in hypnosis, and it's very effective, very effective.
Yeah, there is a powerful force in the accumulation of repeated actions. When you talk about smoking, or there's a story I remember. A fellow ate a cake. He ate an entire cake one day and he said, look, I'm not gaining weight. I feel good. My pants still fit. And the next day he ate a cake. And he's saying, hey, this is not a problem for me. Well, he ate a cake every day. Started to be a problem. He had to go buy new pants.
Yeah. And it's true. It's the compound effect.
Yeah.
And it works the other way as well, because it's same with the exercise. You do that every day, or you you do a video every day for business people like yourself. It's and I do a video. I've got a Facebook group, Becoming a Happier You. When I first started, I might have been a little bit edgy here and there. I can just do it now. It's just like,
do it. Just turn on the camera and do it. Yeah, same way. So this is a good lesson for folks who are listening here. If you want to get out there more, just get out there. It doesn't have to be perfect.
No, because there is no perfect.
Right.
And everybody's got your back, and it just doesn't. And so what? Anyway, it's none of your business what other people think about you.
Right. Absolutely. And get out there and be yourself.
Oh yeah. Authentic and genuine and be you.
Yeah. And not everyone's going to like that.
You're quite right, because some people will think, oh, look at her, da, 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 da. And you know what? Again, so what?
So what? That's right.
So what? Yeah.
Most people, I would think, are in the neutral zone. So you have the people who dislike, they don't identify with you, and then you have the people who, it's here, there, and somewhere in between. And then you have the people who say, I love that. Claudia is so unique. She's so much an individual. She is herself. I love what she's doing.
Yeah.
Those are the people you want to talk with. And
they are the people I talk with. And I just don't give the other people permission to change the way I feel. I just don't. It's their stuff. It says more about them than it does about me.
So true. Yeah. Yeah. But we're all going to attract. And one fellow told me about magnets. If you put the two poles together that are the same, the magnets will repel each other. But if you flip one over, they'll attract each other. And if you're going to attract people, you're also going to repel people. And you got to be okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where the resilience comes back in from boarding school. So I'm okay.
I can't imagine. So your boarding school was a female boarding school?
Yes.
All young girls?
Yes.
Oh my God.
and I just come from America, and I was like thinking, well, where are the boys? And I kind of like made some of the girls with short hair. I kind of put them. You must be a boy. You must be. I was like,
oh, you're getting into dangerous territory there.
Oh yeah, no. I didn't like that. But I just kind of yes, I am. Oh, let's stop that one.
All right, we need a COS. Do you know what a COS is? Change of subject.
Yes. Quick. It was okay back then. I was allowed to say things like that.
Yes, that's true. It was.
But I had short hair as well. I had short hair. So
yeah.
It was
okay. And I had long hair.
Yeah, there you go. I just needed boys there. I just kind of like, it was just weird without, having, so. But anyway, yes, just change subject.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. We're coming to the lightning round, Claudia. Okay. Are you ready for the lightning round?
Yes.
Okay. How has your entrepreneurial journey transformed you?
Okay. More confidence, self-esteem, belief in myself. I have had my business, restarted my business a few times, and I've just believed in myself and done it. So belief in myself.
Fantastic. What most surprised you about being a business owner?
Okay. Again, going back to the networking thing, it's, I did not know that was a thing, and I love it. I love it. Here in America, everybody is so welcoming. Yes. Oh my goodness. It's just, I just love it. I really do. So there.
So let's take a break from the lightning round. Someone who is new to networking, like you were just a short time ago, what would you recommend to them?
Do it. Just go. Just go. And the person who smiles at you, speak to them and let them know that you may be new, this is your first time, and then they will welcome you and introduce you to other people. Okay. Take business cards. Yeah. So
as a recovering introvert, what would I say to someone? How do I start a conversation? If I don't know how to start a conversation, I don't know what to say.
Then ask other people questions. If you're not, if you're shy, have a little repertoire in your head of asking questions of other people. You have to go. All right. If you're going to have a business, you need to go. I personally believe you do. All right. It's not for everybody. However, if you want to get people to know, like, and trust you, go. So there is always the people who run the show, like Holly Springs Small Business Networking. So you've got Christine and Diane. So they're running it. So you'd go up and say hello to them, okay? Because they're welcoming people in. Go and say hello. I'm new. I'm a little bit nervous or shy, and then they will introduce you to somebody who they know is kind, and then they would ask, always ask them, what do you do? Can I have your business card? Conversation starts, but have a little repertoire of asking other people questions, because people love to talk about themselves.
Yeah. One of the things I found in these networking groups, because I am basically a shy person, but people are there to talk. Unlike many other places where I meet people and I see people, they're doing their things, they're on their way, they're here, going there. But people go to the networking meetings to talk with other people. And I did come up with some questions. So that's very good. I love that. I would find something in common. Now, what do we have in common? We're in a bar, or we're in a restaurant, or we're in a social place. And I might mention something about that. If there's food, I would ask about that. If it was a nice day, I'd say, beautiful day, isn't it? Or terrible day. How'd you like the rain today? Or whatever, something in common, something very simple to start the conversation.
Yeah. And for me, of course, it was really easy. I'm from England. It's like people go, oh, I've been to England, or, I would say, have you ever been to England? Or again, it's, it was very easy for me. But travel, you're a massive traveler.
Yeah.
I think that's what we spoke about.
Yeah. What was the formula? Was family, occupation, recreation, and money.
Yeah.
To talk about that. That's one way. So, okay, back to the lightning round. What unexpected challenge have you had to overcome?
Oh, I had a little bit of a problem when I first got here. I did not know, because I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. That's the label. I mean, it's that I had in England, and I've actually been certified here in America with it, but in California. I'm in the state of North Carolina. I did not know that there were different licenses for different states. So because I'm, I got noticed because I see a lot of clients. The psychology board got in touch with me, and I had to sign an affidavit, and and I've had to change all of my wording on my brochures and website, and because it's all word semantics. So I actually, again, I have to be careful here, so I see people living with significant emotional events, with situational stress. I can't necessarily say that but I can help. I can say I help people with anxious feelings.
But you can't say a word that I can say, which is anxiety.
Thank you. I can help people who are down and, because a lot of people self-diagnose. So I see normal people living with normal everyday issues. Okay.
So yeah, interesting. Yeah, the U.S. is we've got these individual states.
Yeah,
right?
that was a very steep learning curve. Do you know all it did? All it did was made me do my master's in NLP and learn more. And I met people who were helping me, and it branched me out into all this other stuff. I then started going to conferences, then met lots of other people. Now I'm a speaker at conferences, and actually they did me a favor.
Yes. Oh, that is a great example of taking a challenge and turning it into an advantage. Excellent. Oh, yeah. Excellent. What book has made a big impact on you and you'd like to recommend?
Okay, the very first one, because I mean, hey, there's so many. However, the very first one was that I read in my mid-20s was Susan Jeffers. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And I literally do.
Yes.
I have so many examples of feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
I think that title almost explains the whole book.
Yeah. Yeah. It is literally me. And I took that on because it gave me a choice. I remember I left my first, I didn't leave him, but it was anyway, but I had no money, but it was like, the choice was I didn't need to be in this awful relationship. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Okay. Then it was like, again, setting up another business, feel the fear and do it anyway. It was just taking, when I jumped out the airplane, feel the fear and do it anyway. In fact, I didn't even feel the fear. It was just doing certain, the talks for various people, just feel the fear and do it anyway. Just do it. That's what I say. Do it.
Just do it. Okay.
Do it.
And what advice would you give to an inspiring young person who wants to go into your same industry?
Really research who you want to train with. Okay, because there are some people that would take an awful lot of money from you, and it's not very good training. So really research, ask other hypnotherapists, other hypnotists, their their journey. And then I would, and then again, it's practice. Make sure you have people around you. Read. Learn. There's so much stuff out there, and go to conferences.
Learn and read and practice. Yeah. Great. And Claudia, what would you like to leave our guest with today, or our listeners with today?
I would, well, first of all, feel the fear and do it anyway. Believe in yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do you want? And when I ask this of my clients, what do you want in life? They always tell me what they don't want. So what do you want? Okay. When we want something, when we want to go somewhere in our GPS, we put where we want to go. We don't put where we don't want to go. So ask yourself, everybody, what do you want? Joy, peace. How do you want to feel? Okay. Calm. You want happiness. You want success. That's what you want. Put that out to the ether. Put that out. God will listen. Universe will listen. Whichever your denomination, that's what will hear you. If you keep saying what you don't want, that is what will hear you. You don't want to feel depressed. You don't want to feel sad. That will hear depressed, sad. That's what you'll get. You put out that you want a good relationship. You want success. You want happiness. That's what will come your way.
Super. Very good. And do you have any free gifts, or how can someone learn more about you if they want to learn more about you and what you do?
Okay, I do have a free gift. It's my free e-guide with 3 relaxation recordings on it. It's on my website. You will find it on straight on there. It says free relief kit. You can download that. So yes, and my website, there's loads of information on there about all the different modalities. So it's Claudia Rickard hypnosis.com.
Okay, and we'll have that information in the show notes for everyone. Very good. Claudia, I have enjoyed this conversation tremendously. Thank you for being a guest on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Entrepreneur Journeys. Remember to subscribe so you catch all the episodes, and check out the show notes for any free giveaways or gifts that were mentioned during this show. Entrepreneur Journeys is brought to you by 𝐂𝐵𝐸Z𝐸, providing the insights, tools, and transformative structures to help you reach your business summit. I'm your show host, 𝐁𝐿, and until next time, I hope your journey is filled with breathtaking views and successful outcomes.